This right here is a conversation on a guy that we have made a video about already. However, the video, singular, only one video, the one video that we made about this guy was made all the way back a year ago, when he was initially taken in the 4th round by the Montreal Canadiens. It's rare to see 4th round guys make as much of a buzz as this guy has, to the point that we're talking about this 4th round prospect a year after he's been drafted. But because yesterday he ended up signing a contract, an amateur tryout contract with the Laval Rocket, it puts him on a very interesting path as a Montreal Canadiens prospect and huge tough guy. Today, we are talking about Owen Protz, formerly of the Brantford Bulldogs in the OHL, and now currently a potential Laval Rocket. Protz is a guy whose name you should be familiar with because he's 19 years old, 6'2", 207, left-handed D-man drafted by the Canadiens in, as we had said, the 4th round of the 2024 draft, 102nd overall. Let's go over to the scoop before we dive into the profile here. It was posted about by the Laval Rocket yesterday that Owen Protz has been signed on to an amateur tryout. And with that, I'm going to assume that Protz is going to be joining the Laval Rocket and participating in practice. Who knows if he'll get a game or two? Who knows if that's even in the cards here? He's not going to get paid. It's an amateur tryout contract. But Protz is a guy whose profile as a prospect is so interesting to me. The fact that he even got brought into the AHL is quite intriguing because if you look at just the point production, you go over to what Protz did in the OHL with the Brantford Bulldogs, you'll see, he had 32 points in 67 games played, 6 points in 11 playoff games. That's not necessarily, crazy good. He even had 57 penalty minutes in the 67 games, so it's not even like he was a penalty minute per game type of player. He would go some games without taking any penalties. But with all that in mind, you clicked on this video, you had some sort of expectation, you read the title, you saw the thumbnail. I know you want to know some more, so let's go out there and read the Elite Prospects Draft Guide scouting report to see what Owen Protz is really about. When Protz steps onto the ice, he holds a monopoly on violence. Smart violence. He steadily angles attackers to the outside, lining them for a bone-crushing hit. He eliminates the attacker's options on the cycle and then slams them to the ice. He'll shut down rushes, move the puck, and activate in the offensive zone. If you check out the Elite Prospects Draft Guide PDF, you'll see the elevator pitch for Owen Protz saying this: the most violent player on the ice at any given time, and he'll shut down rushes, move the puck, and activate in the O-zone. This is a guy who, in the words of the Elite Prospects writers, blends the old school and the new school. He can move the puck. He can make some passes. He can even shoot from the point. But this is a guy whose overall level of contribution on the ice is gonna be with his bone-crushing hits, with his physicality and his willingness to layeth the smack down on his ops. This is a guy who could be labeled as potentially the next Arber Xhekaj? Now, you can say that Xhekaj attained a level of penalty box familiarity that Owen Protz does not have at the moment. And that is true. Even if you go over to the OHL, you'll see that Xhekaj did rack up a significantly higher amount of penalty minutes. But when you think about the fact that these guys both played for the Bulldogs in the OHL, and of course, when Arber played, he wasn't on the Brantford Bulldogs, it was still Hamilton at that time. But to see that connection definitely be prevalent in this discussion here, oh yeah, baby, this is exactly what I think Habs fans would want to see. A guy who can bring such a strong physical edge whilst providing that new school, puck-moving, defensive transitioning type of style. I think a lot of Canadiens fans would go out there and say that one of the bigger drawbacks of Arber Xhekaj is the fact that he's not really the best with the puck, or he doesn't necessarily make the best decisions when it's on his stick. He just kind of moves the play forward. It's all right. He's there. He can shoot too when you give him enough time and space. But aside from the physicality and the presence and the punches and everything else, Arber Xhekaj doesn't bring much to the game. Owen Protz, on the other hand, while he might not necessarily have the aggression in fighting, fisticuffs, man-to-man combat like you will see out of Arber Xhekaj, you can debate that Owen Protz's physical body-checking ability is at the same level of an Arber, maybe even a little bit more strategically placed. So you're sacrificing some of the punches for more offensive opportunities and more breakouts and more headman passes. That, I think, is a very fair trade-off. And when you consider the fact that Protz was a fourth-round dude, that becomes a lot more easier to roll along with. It's like, yeah, this isn't a top prospect or anything. This is not a first-round talent. There's no real level of high expectations on this guy. But he's a fourth-round player who was signed on an ATO with the team that drafted him's farm team a year after getting drafted. That's very impressive. Even if he doesn't end up signing a regular contract with the Laval Rocket or even the Canadiens for next season and beyond, just getting this level of exposure with AHL talent, the physicality and the speed at which AHL caliber players are able to practice at over OHL players, there is value to be added here for Owen Protz as he transitions over from the Bulldogs into the Laval Rocket system. Who knows? Arber Xhekaj was a free agent pickup out of nowhere. He wasn't even drafted at all. Protz at least has the bragging rights of being a fourth-round guy. So obviously, I'm not saying that anything is guaranteed here. Protz, at the end of the day, is a fourth-round talent. It's not like most fourth-round guys make the NHL in any capacity. But this progression from being touted as the most violent player on the ice by the folks at Elite Prospects, a bone-crushing, body-checking machine who also has a decent level of offensive puck-moving ability, to have this guy be an AHL participant a year after getting drafted in the fourth round, that's really good. And I think there should be a lot of excitement for a guy whom I'm pretty sure Bulldogs fans have labeled as a fan favorite. This guy is very beloved by folks that watch the Bulldogs, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this guy having that chance to play with Montreal's farm team for now? The scouting report on Elite Prospect says that his puck skills, like the individual handling that he has on the puck, isn't too great, and he will need to be more explosive with his mobility. But when he has the puck with space and he has that read to make a pass or make a play, that's when he will excel. He can also blow guys up coming the other way with his physicality, because this is a guy that brings the boom. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Owen Protz and his presence with the Laval Rocket, and do you see this guy potentially being a Canadian at some point in the next few years? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.